Happy New Year and welcome to Dadas Show, coming to you from Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Studios. I'm your host, Ashiko Mbune. Now, as our name suggests, the Dadas Show aspires to promote the spirit of sisterhood and solidarity amongst Kenyan women. And we do this by creating an open and a safe platform for women to discuss issues pertaining to their health and lifestyle, their work, their families, their careers, and anything that affects them in one way or another. We also take an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate women who are doing big things, not only for themselves, but for their communities at large. Now, as we embrace the new year, we are all filled with expectations and hopes. We are all hoping to achieve the milestones that we have set for ourselves, and we are also hoping to seize the opportunities that come to us both in our professional and in our personal lives. Now, there's one difference between hoping and there's another when you intentionally put in place mechanisms to ensure that you're able to achieve what you set out to do during this year. So on this episode of Dadas Show, we are joined by a lady who has honed in her craft to help people improve their lives both professionally and personally. And we hope that she will be able to assist us to set the tone for 2025. As always, I welcome you at home to take part in this and any conversation that we may have across all the social media channels at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me directly at Ashiko, the host. We also look forward to hearing from you on our Facebook page at Dadas KBC. We look forward to hearing your feedback, your questions. What are your plans for the new year? So before we get into know what we need to do in 2025 to make it a complete success, let's take a look at the following feature.
The start of a new year is a perfect opportunity to set goals, plan your personal and professional growth, and challenge yourself to try something new or give up something old. But while it's easy to make New Year's resolution, how you set your goals is the key to life-changing results and long-term success. Here are some tips for making achievable and meaningful goals. Reflect on the past year by looking at what went well. Think about your successes and what you're proud of. On the other side, what did not go as planned. Reflect on areas where you faced challenges or did not meet expectation. Secondly, set SMART goals by ensuring your goals are specific by defining your goal clearly and measurable. Set realistic goals that are challenging but possible and can be achieved. Your goals also need to be relevant, aligning to your values and long-term vision. Setting a deadline to your goal will make you be accountable. Thirdly, break down big goals. Instead of just saying, I want to get fit, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. For example, I will work out 3 times a week, or I will walk 10,000 steps daily. Fourthly, when setting goals, include different areas of life by aiming for balance by creating goals in various categories such as personal development, health and wellness, career and finance, relationships and social life, hobbies and creativity. On the 5th tip, be realistic and kind to yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many goals. Focus on a few that resonate with you and bring the most positive change. If you don't meet a goal exactly as planned, don't be too hard on yourself. Use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Lastly, track progress and adjust when needed. Review your goals regularly to stay on track. Celebrate small wins and be open to adjusting your goals if circumstances changes. Setting effective resolution and actually sticking with them is a challenge, but you can maximize your chance of success with a well-structured plan. For Dadas Show, my name is Miriam Odanga.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the episode of the day is setting the tone for the new year. How is your new year coming along? Have you set out your goals? Do you know what you aspire to do this year? Are there things that you want to work on, and do you need help doing that? That is why we are having this episode today. So I want to welcome my wonderful panelist. We mentioned her before, and my wonderful panelist, her name is Coach Angela Nzilani. Karibu sana to Dadas Show.
Thank you very much.
I'd also want to acknowledge my wonderful audience. Happy New Year to everybody. Asanteni sana for joining us in this new year and for making time to sit in with us this year. I hope we'll interact with each other as we continue the year. I also want to appreciate you at home for joining us the previous year and this year as we discuss issues affecting women. Now, to start the conversation, so that our audience at home can be assured that they are in the best hands. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Karibu.
Well, my name is Angela Nzilani. I am a life coach. I'm also a mentor. I'm a motivational speaker and a corporate trainer. I own Angelique Achievers and Milestone Surety. I do my life coaching with Angelique Achievers, where I'm the lead coach, and I'm the lead trainer at Milestone Surety, where we do corporate training. Yeah, so that's a nutshell of who I am.
A nutshell of who you are. We will continue peeling more of the layers as we carry on. But I hope that that's an assurance to our audience at home and you in studio with us that you're definitely in the best of hands. So as the new year begins, we previously had an episode where we were reflecting on the year 2024. And especially, people always say it's always good to look back before you look forward. What is the importance of reflecting on the year that has been as you start off a new year?
It is very important to reflect not just on the year, but even on daily basis. Every time you do something, it's always good to reflect on. It's like taking audits.
Yes.
In accounts.
Yes.
You take an audit of what you have been doing in your business. So the same way, we need to run our lives like businesses.
Yes.
Before you look at any business that you're running or any job that you're doing, look at yourself like I am me incorporated.
Yes.
So how do I run me? How do I run myself? And then make maybe a history of yourself. What have I been doing?
Yes.
So it's good to make at least a history of where you have been so that you know how you have been improving and what are the places that you need to change. What are the places that you need to improve on? What are the places that you need to, to keep working on? Because everything has to keep changing. Whether we like it or not, change is constant.
Yes.
So it is better to take that deliberate change than letting just the world carry us around. So taking stock of where you have been is important because it's going to help you be conscious of what you're doing right now. Yes.
Thank you so much. So our topic of discussion today is setting the tone for the new year. What is the importance of doing so? And what do we mean by setting the tone?
Setting a tone is like having a foundation.
Yes.
When you're building a home, a house, how high do you want your house to go?
Yes.
You have to set the base. So setting a tone is like creating a base where you will stand on. So setting a tone is like having rules for yourself, goals for yourself. Where am I going? So being able to understand where is maybe yourself, like
Yes.
where is Angela going to be at the end of the year? Envision it at the beginning of the year. Plan everything at the beginning of the year, but plan it big, but have like small portions of where you will be every week and every month and something like that. So setting the tone is like having a clear picture of where you are going. What are you supposed to be doing? Because if you don't set that picture of where you are, where you're heading to, you're not going to think of how do I wake up every morning? Because if I don't have anywhere I'm going,
Yes.
the way I wake up
scrambling
every
blindly.
morning
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Yes.
I can choose to wake up in the middle of the day. I can choose to just sleep up maybe up to
4 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can wake up, I can stay awake throughout the night, watch movies throughout the night. But when I know I have goals to achieve, then I know that every morning I'm going to wake up at this time. And this is how my morning routine is going to be every day. And this is where I'm going,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is setting the tone is predominantly just creating a purpose for your year.
Yes.
And breaking it down into small chunks.
Yes.
Now that we know what setting a tone and the importance of actually doing that, how do you actually, now that we know the what and the why,
Yes.
how do we set the tone for the year? We know what setting the tone is, we know why we set the tone, but what exactly is, how do you go about it?
I believe everything we do has to begin with self. Whether it is family, whether it is, you know, your children, work, everything has to begin with self. How are you, how clear are you about yourself? So we narrow it down to self-awareness. How self-aware are you? Many people are not even aware of, you know, what goes on in their minds.
Yes.
We're just thinking randomly. We're just carried away by, you know, the way a wild wind carries a leaf and it just drops it anywhere it feels like. So many people are carried away by the wind, by the wind of life.
Yes.
So when you are self-aware, and being self-aware is being conscious of where you are, what you're doing, who you are, and what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
Remember that our minds control everything we do. You are your mind. So if you're not aware of what your mind says, what your mind thinks at every particular time, like right now, we are aware that we are doing this show, right?
Yes, we are aware.
Yeah, we are aware that we are beginning the year, right? Yes. So being aware that it is the beginning of the year, there is something that the beginning has. It's like we are trying to create that foundation. We are trying to, if I want my house to be strong, I need the 9 by 9
Plywood, stones, yeah.
No, plywood comes later.
I don't know what my house is made of.
You need the kokoto, you
Yes.
need, you know, all these things that are required. You need enough water for
Yes.
the koroga, you need the cement, you need everything set.
Yes.
So what do you need for self? So you need to work on yourself, the inner self. You need to be peaceful in a way that, you know, all these goals you're setting up for yourself, even though they should scare you actually, because you are making big goals, you know, from where you are. Your goals should be very big to a point of scaring you.
Oh, wow.
So if your goals are not scaring
you,
yeah, you need
Wow.
to go back to your
Drawing board.
to drawing board and dream afresh. Being clear with who you are and where you're going, and whether you really deserve, you feel within yourself you deserve these goals that you're creating for yourself. Because many times we are just only you and me, myself, I'm my own enemy. It's not about who does what to me, or what the government is doing to me, or what the climate or environment is doing to me. Many times we are our own enemies because of the voices that we speak in our heads.
What should one consider when you're setting the goals and the priorities for the new year?
You can consider, first of all, where you have been. What are the things you have done that have succeeded, and what are the things you have done that have failed? When you look at what you have done and have failed, then you know that maybe I can tweak it in a different way. Or maybe now I know I cannot do it this way, so I have to do it different.
Yes.
So you need to understand where you're coming from. You need to understand your current space. So where are you right now as a person? Where are you in business? What are you passionate about? What are your passions? Because I remember maybe an example of when M-Pesa came, how many shops were opened? And why were they opened like that?
Yes.
So many were opened.
They were everywhere.
So many have
yeah.
closed down.
Yes.
Because everyone saw it like a new thing. It's like the quail business.
Yes.
We tend to go into things because people are doing them. We don't study ourselves and see, what am I passionate about? For me to go into life coaching, I had to be passionate about it. I had to know that this is something I'm really passionate about. And I had to look at it like purpose. This has actually been my purpose all
Yes,
along.
yes.
Because when I look at my life, I realized that with time, I had been that person, you know, the go-to person. My friends would come to me and just ask for advice. Not that I was doing very well in my life. I've made so many mistakes. So many mistakes. I've failed tremendously.
Yes.
But there's being able to do something for somebody else may not be, you may not be your own answer to your life.
Oh, wow.
But you
I
can
like
be an
that.
answer to somebody else.
Oh, wow.
So if you're passionate about something, don't put yourself down and say that I'm not good at this, I'm not myself. How are they going to even look at me? Just go for it and learn. Teach yourself go to school, learn about it. I had to go to school and learn about public speaking. Keep pushing yourself. Look for your passion. Look for what do you have right now? And one thing also, we stop ourselves because we feel that we don't have enough to go.
Yes.
We don't have what it takes to go. But guess what? If you have realized your passion, that is your purpose, you already have what you need.
Oh, wow.
We have what we need. God gives us what we need right now. But we may not have what we want. You see, there's a difference.
Yes.
So when I began coaching, I started as a motivational speaker, and I was doing one-on-one coaching. And then I started now going to schools to talk to children, going to churches. And then I remember when I started, and I remember that phrase, you have what you need.
You have what you need.
So I sat down and asked myself, what do I have? And I wrote down, I have this pen, I have a notebook. You know, the things we take for granted.
Yes.
I
they seem very mundane.
Yeah, like
useless.
Yeah,
like,
but I have a pen, I have a notebook, I have my voice. I have a sane mind that can grow, that has the capacity to grow. I have people who want to be helped.
Yes.
People who are going through issues that are seeking someone to speak to. I have my own small environment. I have peace in myself, within myself. And I have the ability to heal myself.
Yes.
Because I was also at a process of healing.
Yes.
So I asked myself, what do I have? And I had a small Oppo phone, kalikuwa kadogo, very small phone that didn't even have nice cameras.
Yes.
But I was able to begin. And I remember even with that small phone, I coached people even because it was, now the business started peaking during COVID.
Yes.
So I coached people even in the US with that small phone.
With that small Oppo phone.
Yes.
I like that statement. And it's a very good and a powerful statement now before we go back to how we set our goals. You have what you need. I think if it's something, I always pick little, things that people say, and you write it down, and you can even place it on a post-it on the wall. Whenever you're feeling that you're inept, whenever you're feeling like you don't have what it takes to 2025, you've already failed so many times the year before you've tried this. I want to quote this, and I think that would be the tagline for this episode. You have what you need. I think if it's something, I always pick little, things that people say, and you write it down, and you can even place it on a post-it on the wall. Whenever you're feeling that you're inept, whenever you're feeling like you don't have what it takes to 2025, you've already failed so many times the year before you've tried this. I want to quote this, and I think that would be the tagline for this episode. You have what you need. So now we've already talked about, look at where you're coming from. This is back to goal setting.
Yes.
Look at where you're coming from. Look at where you are right now. Look at what you're passionate about. Is there anything else you need to consider as you're setting your goals?
Yeah, sit down in your own small space or big space, whatever. Just sit down, have time for yourself, and sit down on your own. And if you have to, close your eyes and envision your wildest dream. Where would you want to be in, say, 10 years to come? Where would you want to be? For me, I would say maybe I would want to have a big house, probably somewhere in Runda. I want to have, big life.
Yes.
I want to drive a big car. I want a car that I climb, not I get in. So
a car that you climb, not get in. I like that. Even me, I want a car that I can climb.
I want a car that I climb on.
Yeah.
So big dreams, those big. So envision your wildest dreams. If you're not married, envision yourself having a very romantic life.
Yes.
A romantic husband. The Bible says, God said that be still and know that I am God. When you are still, that's a place of prayer. That's a place of attracting the universe to yourself. So this envisioning will, in a way, it's like you're connecting energies. We are some source of energy, or we are energy ourselves.
Absolutely.
And the world connects energy to ourselves. If maybe you can just sit and think of somebody who is really struggling a lot. What do they speak about in their lives?
Negativity. Majority of the time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at somebody who is doing very well. What do they speak about? They speak
Prosperity.
about prosperity. They speak about big dreams. They speak about big plans. They talk about I'm drawing this this house. It's going to cost me 100 million. I don't have the 100 million right
but
now.
it will happen. And I believe what you're saying is correct. It's the mindset.
Yeah.
It's the mindset. Yes.
And even watch people who are ahead of you and are doing things that you haven't done or you are dreaming of doing. I watched Lupita Nyong'o one time. She was being interviewed by Oprah, and she spoke about, Oprah asked her, are you, did it like shock you? Are you shocked being in the red carpet?
Yeah.
In just a few years, you have grown to
Yes.
be in the red carpet, and today you're sitting at the opera.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I'm not shocked.
Wow.
And she was like, wow, why? And she said, because my mother taught me to pray the prayer of Jabez.
Oh, wow.
Protecting me from pain and expanding my territories. So this is something I've been expecting.
I anticipated
Yes,
this was going to
I
happen. I saw
envisioned
it
it.
coming. I envisioned it.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the power of your vision, your internal vision, it is very powerful.
Oh, wow.
It is very, I myself, during COVID, though it's a small dream, but it came true.
Yes. There are no small dreams.
But it's
Yes.
a big dream for
Yes,
somebody.
of
I was
course.
going through a very tough time.
Yes.
And I thought of, what can I dream of? This dreaming about, envisioning about. Let me begin with myself. Let me stop talking to people about it and practice it
Yes.
within me.
Yes.
And I wrote down what I want to have. And there's also the power of writing down. It's in the Bible. It's in Habakkuk chapter 2, I think verse 1 to 3, somewhere there. Write down your revelations and they will come to pass at the right time, and
Wow.
something
Yeah.
like that. So I wrote down that I didn't have a car. I was struggling a lot. I wrote down that I want to have a car by the end of the year.
Yes.
Remember, COVID has hit. I'm trying to challenge COVID. And that time,
Globally.
Yes.
Let's not forget, globally. It was not a Kenya
and
problem.
there's lockdown.
There's lockdown.
And I'm trying,
so
I'm
even with your
challenging
car, unaenda wapi?
with my small Oppo phone. I'm
Yeah.
still at the Oppo phone.
Yes.
Small one, not the nice ones that have
Yes.
come up.
Yeah.
Small one. And I'm just there and I'm writing down my visions. This is what despite all challenges and
Yes.
what is happening, I am going to I had even opened a hall where I used to train people one-on-one. I would have a class. So lockdown comes, I've locked down
And
everything.
everything,
I
yeah.
can't go to schools anymore to speak. I cannot go to church and get my 1,000, 2,000 shillings. I can't do anything. And COVID has hit, but I've written this dream down. And somehow I managed, my doors opened. My doors opened and I started coaching people. Now I got that client from the US. I got others from the US. Others would even see, somebody even saw my Oppo phone, the camera is not good, and asked me, what phone are you using? And I said, I'm using an Oppo. What kind of phone is that?
Yeah, they don't know what.
They
what
don't
is
know what
Oppo?
those are China,
Imagine.
made for Africa.
Made for
Yeah, so
China for Africa.
yes. So I said, I'm using an Oppo phone. What is that? And I said, it's a phone from China. Okay, can I buy you a phone?
Wow.
Yeah, sure. And I got a phone, a nice Samsung,
Yes.
and then I continued. And the same person bought me a laptop. The same person said, I want to invest in paying for 5 women that you can train for free.
Oh, wow.
So they send me money. I got women who are just going through issues, and I trained them.
Yes.
So within the year, somehow money started coming in, and I'm training people online. And by the end of the year, I was already purchasing the car. My birthday is in January
Yes.
this month,
Yes.
in a few days to come.
Yes.
So I bought, by 5 days before my birthday,
Yes.
it was a birthday gift to me.
Oh, wow. A
So
round of applause.
The power of envisioning.
And I like what they say about money attracts money. So poverty attracts poverty.
Yes.
Now, so we know the what, we know the why, we know the how. How do we maintain How do we keep at it? So we've done everything. We're writing down everything that Coach Nzilani is saying. Now here we are. How do we maintain that? Because a year, 365 days is pretty long. You know, it could be long, it could be short, depending on how you look at it. To constantly be keeping yourself motivated, to constantly be keeping yourself, it's very taxing. You know, it can be very emotionally and psychologically taxing.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself in the zone that to be consistent with your goals?
I'm going to give you 5 M's.
Yes.
You say money attracts money, so
Yes.
I'll use the M for money,
Yes.
but I'm going to give you five M's. And before we go to that, money attracts money. When you're poor, you attract poverty. But what are you poor at? Are you poor at your thoughts? Is it a poverty mentality that you
exactly.
have,
Yeah.
or is it a rich mentality that you have? Because if you're thinking of, I'm poor, I don't have this poverty mentality, you're always bargaining to small vendors. You're bargaining about a banana, you see 8 bob.
Yes.
So I go to my 5 M's.
Yes.
And the first M is your mind, your mindset. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset can grow you from that poverty place to a rich place, or to a place where you're attracting things, or you're attracting wealth to yourself, or you're attracting the right connections, you attract the right job to yourself. When you think that you deserve better, you deserve good, you're a child of God after all, you know? And one thing, and when I say this, I feel goosebumps. For years I've been saying it, and it doesn't get off me. I am the daughter of the Most High God.
Oh, wow.
If I am the daughter of the Most High God, and He has all this wealth on earth, what can't I inherit?
Yes, why am I down here?
If your father, your biological father, has 10 cows, and you're the only child, because when I look at God, I look at Him like He's looking at me like the only child that He has. You have to feel that special to Him. So if I am the only child, and my father wants to give me his 9 cows, or wants to give somebody his 9 cows, how many is He going to give to me? Probably the 9,
Yeah.
right? So, or whatever He has.
Yes.
So if you look at yourself like you are the daughter of the Most High God, He has all these things are His. What is it that I cannot inherit from Him?
Yeah.
And it gives me goosebumps, because I think now my mind rushes into.
It's oh yeah.
I have maybe a 7-star hotel in Dubai. I have, those.
So you've
Yeah,
said, so we've
your
worked on the
mind.
mindset. Okay, let's move on to the next step.
The next one we talk about money.
Money.
How you relate to your money defines how you relate to yourself.
Okay.
Many times there are people who say that money is the beginning of all evil. Is that true?
No.
Money does not create evil. Money creates opportunities for you to do good.
Yes.
So if you think of money as a door for all evil, or the beginning of all evil, it will keep running away from you.
Yeah.
Because money is here to do good. Look at all these good things that happen. They only happen because money is available. I wouldn't have come here if I didn't have fuel to come to,
Yeah.
to this show, right?
Yeah. Move on to the next step.
The next one we talk about money.
Money.
How you relate to your money defines how you relate to yourself.
Okay.
Many times there are people who say that money is the beginning of all evil. Is that true?
No.
Money does not create evil. Money creates opportunities for you to do good.
Yes.
So if you think of money as a door for all evil, or the beginning of all evil, it will keep running away from you.
Yeah.
Because money is here to do good. Look at all these good things that happen. They only happen because money is available. So the way you relate with money is, it's what money has been doing to you, or what people have done to you because you try to get maybe help here and there, and you feel so alone, and you see people who are doing so well, and they're supposed to, according to you, they're supposed to be doing something for you. Nobody owes you anything.
Yeah, you're supposed to work on that.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got money. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah.
So we have said the mind and the money.
Yes.
The next one is the mood.
The mood.
How is your mood? How do you wake up every morning? What is, sometimes people say that I woke up on the wrong foot, or I put the wrong foot. That's our Kamba saying. I woke up on the wrong foot, that's why my day was a bad day, or has been a bad day.
Yes.
But it is your internal states. How are your internal states? How did you go to bed? Did you go to bed angry at somebody? Are you bitter with somebody who did something to you, instead of, you know, being kind and just forgive them and forgive yourself?
And forgive and move on.
Yeah, so your mood matters.
Yes. And then the final one?
The next one is the moment.
The moment.
We are at the moment. This is now, it calls you for your own self-awareness. What is, how self-aware? How are you aware of your environment? And when I'm self-aware, when I'm aware of my internal states, I can also be able to figure out what you are going through. The last M, and which is the most important, is your mouth. Your mouth. Your mouth is the doorway to create things. When God was creating, he was speaking words. He used breath. He created. And he created us in his own likeness. And guess what? We are now co-creators. So we are the ones who, now we can create things. I can speak words and either demolish you or build you up.
Wow.
Your mouth is very powerful.
So let's do a quick rundown before we go on break. So we said the first one was?
Mind, money, mood, moment, and mouth.
I hope everybody has been able to jot that down as the things that you need to actually focus on and keep in mind to be able to maintain and sustain your aspirations and your goals throughout the year. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back for the question and answer session. Don't go far away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you have missed quite a fast session. Our conversation is the day is setting the tone for 2025 with Coach Nzilani. We've learned so much. We've been writing notes throughout. You know, we have picked up some wonderful gems that we're definitely going to carry with us along the year. Remember to get in touch with us with your feedback, with your questions. If you'd actually like to have a session with her on social media, across all social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me personally at Ashiko the host across all social media platforms. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook at Dadas KBC. We look forward to hearing your questions, your feedback, you know, your opinions on this and any other show we may have. Now, over to my favorite part of the show, where my wonderful audience gets an opportunity to ask questions, give us feedback on the conversation of the day to Coach Nzilani. So to start us off, we have Wangeshi. Wangeshi, karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Ashiko. My name is Wangeshi Mushiri, a teens coach and counselor. I have a question for Coach. And before the question, thank you so much for the amazing insights. I leave this place well loaded, richer than I came in.
Oh,
now, my question is, you talked about setting goals and making them time-bound. So what happens when you have unrealized goals and time is running out, or time has run out completely? What do you do with that? How do you deal with such a situation? Thank you.
First, you can give yourself some grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. Life is never that serious. You don't have to achieve everything. Remember, I was saying that have big goals and try to reach them. Because when you have big goals, you'll be able to you'll strive hard to reach them. But if you don't reach those goals, what do? At least you know you have tried.
Yes.
So give yourself some grace, give yourself some, some forgiveness, a pat on the back, and don't forget to realize what you have already achieved. Because when you realize what you've already achieved, you're able to celebrate yourself for the ones that are coming. And then you're able to continue building even bigger dreams, because you know that you will still push yourself harder. Remember that dreams are supposed to be smart, smart in a way that you can achieve them. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable. Your dreams have to be specific. You have to know what you really want. Measurable in terms of, yes, we are talking about that big goal that you would want to achieve, but make sure that you subdivide them into small dreams according to, or small goals, yes, according to what you can achieve. Yes. The A for SMART stands for achievable. So those small goals that are achievable should be, something that you can achieve, yes, you can work towards. Every week you have this small goal, something that you can achieve. And then we have the R, which is realistic goals. They have to be realistic according to what is your plan for your life? What do you want to achieve? Where are you going? And then the last T is supposed to be timeline. According to your time, 1 week, is it achievable within that 1 week? Or is it achievable within that 1 year? But don't forget that even if your goals are as big as what, they can still be achieved, yes. Anything can be achieved, anything can be, so don't put yourself small just because you feel that the time is kidogo and maybe your resources are less, and because we are, again, like I said, we are energies. We can attract whatever miracles that, we have seen it happen for, yes, others. Why would it not happen for you? Oh. So don't stop yourself because this year it didn't happen or last year it didn't happen. Just keep going with the bigger goals.
Wow. Oh, I love that. Wangesh, I hope your question has been answered. Down and not out. So wake up, dust yourself, and keep it moving. I love what you said about the SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timelines. Because, there's a very good balance between you want to be realistic, but at the same time, you also want to dream big. So I think it boils down to self-awareness. What is it that, if I'm sitting down, I know what is, within my capacity. I cannot say my goal this year is to become shorter. There is no way I can become shorter. I am who I am. So that's what we're saying, know your capabilities, know your capacity when you're setting the goals. And if you're not able to achieve them and you've applied all these things, then pat yourself in the back and celebrate the small wins. I find that celebrating the tiniest of wins, most people would laugh at the kind of things that I celebrate, and that be like, they may look mundane even. It may look like you're taking it for granted, but these are the small fires that build up the big fires that keep it moving. So we have our next question of the day. That is from Carol. Carol, karibu sana Dadas.
Thank you so much. My name is Caroline Kahingo. I am a corporate trainer and lecturer. Thank you so much for your insights for the new year. I have a question. When do I seek the services of a life coach, and how do I identify the one who is good for me?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Wow. Any time or any particular time in your life when probably you're trying to make a certain decision in your life and it seems blurred, like you're not sure of where you're going. Because we have the power to find our own clarity. It's not all the time you will need help. But sometimes the vision is blurred. You're not so sure. So a life coach will help you to walk through the journey of self to be able to realize or to help you gain that clarity. Remember, the work is yours. The life coach is just holding your hand. It's like the way we know God is holding our hand, but we still have to work. We have to wake up. God is not going to bring manna from heaven, or maybe he will, but being realistic, we know he's here, this is here. When we know you have someone, you can ask questions, you can, just for clarity purposes, some little training about some things you can apply, or where you have been, somebody who is going to help you go back to your past and realize why you have been making the mistakes that you have been making and where you want to go. So basically, mostly is when you are trying to seek clarity, when you're trying to seek healing, depending on what kind of coach you feel that you need, because there are different coaches for different kinds of things. There's a business coach, there's somebody who is very good in farming, and she's decided that I'm going to coach women in that line of work. So she will be the best person to look for. There's somebody who is very good at maybe parenting. So a coach when it comes to taking care of children. So depending on where you are at life and the clarity that you're trying to seek.
Remember, ultimately, the work is yours. So I hope, Carol, your question has been answered. Our next question of the day is from Cecilia.
Coach Nzilani, I have a question for you. How do you manage work-life balance, and how do you achieve it? Thank you.
Excellent question.
Work-life balance.
Especially as women.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yes. I know being a woman is not easy.
It's not. We
You're
are everything.
You're expected to look beautiful, to smell good, to have your shoulders high,
yes.
to help other women wear their crowns, to help your men shine, to help your children, grow up and
And
be.
still have a business, because we are modern women, so we like business, we are employed,
Yes.
have a corporate career. Yeah.
When the food is not tasty, it's your fault.
Yes.
And
When there's traffic on Mombasa Road, it's your fault.
you're late. Yeah. So it may not be easy. And at work, you're supposed to leave everything at the gate.
Yes.
Leave your mess at the gate. You need to come here and perform.
Yes.
So you have to wear a different coat. Work-life balance is one and the same thing. You just need to understand that this is life. It is life. Working and life is one and the same thing.
Oh, wow.
It's part of, work is part of life.
Yes.
So it's part of us.
Yes.
So we need to learn how to balance the two. So we have to be always, be okay with both of them. How do you get okay with both of them? You have to be okay yourself. And many times we are running the life and we are running the work and we forget ourselves, not knowing that the self is the most important. If the self is okay, then all these others will balance. They will just come and fit together. You see, so they will, this is work, this is life. They will somehow come and fit. And there's time for everything, knowing that there's time for work. Sometimes you may have to carry work home, but still, even when you're at home, there's still time for work. So sometimes maybe like you've carried work home and your child needs your attention. What do? Try and we are clever, we are women after all.
We can multitask.
We can multitask. You can know how to set aside one and maybe put the other one later, or work on the other one later. So we have to work on ourselves first. I don't know whether you've studied yourself and realized sometimes you have a very bad day at work and you come home to this innocent child who now, because she's innocent and the most harmless person, the most vulnerable person, so we end up bashing them. So we lash on them, we put them, we cut them across. We just want to push them away. It's like, no, I don't have time for this. Leave me alone. I don't have time for you right now. What have you done to that child right now? So because you're not okay. It's not because you had a bad day. It's just because you're not able to deal with the bad day and be at peace with the bad day and learn to create, learn to, to take a breather, to learn to know that I don't need to be controlled by what other people or what the traffic has done to me or what my boss said to me. When I come home, I'm a different person. And even when I'm talking, when I'm being shouted at work, I know that I still have the power to be okay, to make myself okay. So to be able to balance the two, you must be at peace with yourself. You must be able to clear yourself from, and that's why we talk about life coaches, somebody to help you walk through, how do I be self-aware? How do I work on my emotions so that they don't take a toll on me when I don't need to? So that I don't have to push my child away when this child has something to say to me. Because when you push your child away, this child realizes that I can never go to mommy for help because mommy will always push me away. And if you look at even many children right now, those who work with children will tell you, they tell you their mothers are always on phone, or they're either shouting at them, or they're always fighting with daddy, or such kind of things. Those are the things they are picking. They are not picking that my mom comes home, hugs me, tells me I love you, I missed you today, how was your day, tell me about it, what did you achieve, who was your friend, what friend did you miss? We don't have those conversations with our children. When they come to us with a challenge they went through throughout the day, we are too quick to put it aside because we have work.
I love that. And sometimes I think everything boils down to the inner self. If I cannot reiterate enough the importance of self-awareness, because we coaches and counselors and therapists and books and authors have all come up with the surefire way of dealing with work-life balance, time management, compartmentalizing. But I believe every situation is unique. For instance, the work that we do, or the work that I do, you cannot say that I'm not going to pick up my producer's phone call after 6 o'clock. There could be something that is happening. So one way or another, your work becomes your life, and your work is part of your life. So I don't stop being a Shiko when I go home. If someone calls me and says, we would like this. So I think knowing yourself and being comfortable and being self-aware and knowing your limitations and knowing your capabilities and saying that today I've had a tough day, owning it and saying, what, maybe today is not the best day for me to interact. Let me take a breather. Let me take a walk. Let me step out of the house for a minute because I'm feeling like these kids are getting under my skin. So I think at the end of the day, in my opinion, most of the things boil down to self-awareness. And in 2025, we should honestly invest in getting to know ourselves better. Let's have the last question of the day from Mary.
Thank you so much. My name is Mary. Thank you for the opportunity. My question is, sometimes you want to open a business and you have so many businesses in your mind. So you are thinking this one will work out, this one will work out. You're thinking which one do I choose? You have so many in your mind. You're thinking maybe I do this one will go or will do well. Maybe if I do this one will do well. So how do you choose the one that suits you?
When it comes to business, for me, I've come to realize now from my own journey of working through business, because I've done so many that have failed. It all boils down to what are you passionate about? What problem do you want to solve in the society? When we solve problems as human beings, we feel good about ourselves. We feel fulfilled. There's nothing as priceless as that. Feeling fulfilled, just helping someone. So what problem are you observing around you, and what can you do to create a solution for that problem? So when you're thinking about these businesses, the mind has the power to accommodate so many things.
Yes.
But you have the power to let it, either to let it accommodate 1,000,001 things, or you have the power to let it narrow, or to make it narrow down to a few specific things that you want to work on. Because when your mind is all over, you will just be all over.
Yeah, true.
And you're giving 10% to each small business. And so you're expecting 10% of from each business. So if you narrow down to one big business or one small thought, and now try and work on it and grow it into something bigger, and ask yourself, what problem am I solving right now? Am I capable of solving this problem? Do I feel happy when I solve this problem? Even if, let's say, it's just a shop.
Yes.
Like I want to open a wholesale shop nearby my estate. I will have solved the problem of people not going to buy expensive goods from the supermarkets, and so they can come and buy in bulk at my shop. You have solved a problem. And if that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, it's not about the money first. It's about, are you touching lives? When you touch lives, trust you me, you will feel good about yourself. And this will be a business that you want to work on, you want to keep improving on. So I don't know whether you're answered by that question. I need my answer.
I like that. I think passionate is very key.
Yeah.
But being passionate about something is very key. And most of the people get carried away when it comes to that. So I'm passionate about DJing. And I decide I'm going to go and become a DJ, you know, at my big age. And I'm like, okay, fine then. But I like what you followed up. Is there a need? In my field, was there a need? In my neighborhood, was there a need for a DJ? Because we also need to be realistic, because people are passionate about some things, and some things, is there a need that you're actually feeling? And then finally, is it you feeling something within you? Because people have a tendency of being we're passionate about very many things. I'm passionate about skiing. But is there a need for a ski instructor in Kenya? We don't have snow, we don't have ice. And is it fulfilling a purpose? So I think if we always consider the three things about what are you passionate about it, is it fulfilling the need, is there a need in society, is there a need in the marketplace, is there a need, and is it fulfilling something deep within you? You know, over and above just being passionate about something. I think that way. So thank you so much, Coach Nzelani. I want to give you an opportunity to give us our parting shot as we begin. And as we give people at home time to marinate on the things that we have discussed today. So just give us the parting shot for this episode.
I think for me, what I would say, as you begin the year 2025, just go in your notebook, write why in capital letters. What is my big why of life? What is my big why of everything that I'm doing? If it is business, what is my why? If it is now the questions that you've been asking, what is my why for trying to get this answer? When you have a why, a reason for everything, then everything falls into place. Everything has been created for a reason. The pens you are writing with were created because, or were manufactured because they are supposed to be writing. Why are you here? Why were you created? Why did God think of you with all the genetic makeup that you have, with the mind that you have, with what you have, which is what you need right now? So when you have your big why to life, then you're able to push forward. You'll have the energy to keep pushing forward to the goals that you're going to be making this year. So I hope that means something to you. And this is something that you can carry on and keep revising on. What is my bigger why? What is my big why of being alive? What is my big why of even nurturing the children that God has given me? What is my big why of being in this marriage? What is my big why of doing the job that I do, working for my boss, or working for doing the business that I do? So look for your big why, or the whys, and then it will give you clarity into everything that you want to do.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Coach Nzelani. We definitely have come to the end of this week's episode. So the new year stands before us like a chapter in a book. What lies within the pages is completely up to you. I'd urge you to embrace possibilities with open arms and a heart full of optimism and positivity. Remember, the secret to change is not to focus on the old, but to focus on building something new. As always, let's keep this conversation going across all social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me directly at Ashiko the host, and you can reach us on Facebook at Dadas KBC. So on behalf of the production team, myself, Ashiko Mbune, we wish you all a happy new year. I hope you have learned a thing or 10 during this episode, and I hope you will work and aspire to achieving your dreams and your goals in a way that only you can. So that's it for now, and we will catch you same time, same place next week. Bye for now.